What I hear right now is a good thing and a little bit too much of it. I see a lot of kids who are genuinely talking about what they didn't do right on the quiz, and that's a really good thing. And I also realized that once I started talking, those same kids settled down, which is an even better thing. And when that's what's going on, I love when you talk in class. I think it's really good. What I don't want, obviously, is when the talking is socializing. We have a new kid in class, Ethan. Everybody say hello, Ethan. Hi. Ethan comes from down by North Carolina. Ethan, you know what I love to do? I love to fly fish. Have you ever heard of fly fishing? There's some cool fly fishing in the Smoky Mountains. You ever go up in there? Really? You were all the way down there and you never went into the... You ever do whitewater rafting down there? Oh, you got to do whitewater rafting. Whitewater rafting is pretty sick stuff. Anybody ever do whitewater rafting? Put it on your bucket list. You got to do that before you die. Denise, I appreciate your burning desire to help, but not at the moment. Now, guys, I'll never fight with you. It'll never happen. If you want to waste all your time, you can do it. But you got to remember there's consequences to wasting time. Know what I mean? All right? I think you're treated with ultimate respect in here. Ethan, if you want to bring some munchies to eat during class, feel free. If you want to bring something to drink, the only thing I ask is that you have a top to screw on. I don't want a flip, like a can. I don't want that. If you bring something to eat, if you make a mess, clean it up. Like I look at Diana's and I see a piece of popcorn underneath her desk. Well, there's something under there that looks like it, so whoever has it there can pick it up. And in the course of that time, we'll be relaxed and we'll learn. But what happens is if we don't learn how to be work time versus how to be any other kind of time, then at the end of the day, we all suffer. Okay? And we don't want to suffer. We want to make our life as good as we possibly can. So this is where we're doing it. Yesterday, I announced to the entire class that I played Mega Millions.
Did you win? Did you win?
Oh, I didn't mention it to you guys? It's the drawing's tonight.
Oh, you better win.
So if I told you, if I win, I'm putting $2,000 on your desks. Every one of you is getting, I'm very serious. Okay? All right? But as impressive.
I won $20 yesterday. Yeah.
I believe you. I really do. Ladies. But the big point I made yesterday was you would work so hard for $2,000 if you get an A. Yet we showed you that if you do your schoolwork and you work hard at school, it's worth about $2 million. And we went through the whole, yeah, we did. If you weren't here yesterday, you missed it, but we went through the proof of that. And boy, oh boy, I think I'd do my homework for $2 million. I definitely think I'd do my homework for $2 million. So let's start with this particular problem. And we're talking about word numbers. And word number problems are things that can drive us crazy. So if you get upset, if you get a little intimidated, if you feel frustrated, I felt so frustrated today trying to fill out some stuff online and getting bounced around from website to website and phone number to phone number. I understand how upsetting it can be. There was a point in time where I came close to wanting to hit something hard. But ultimately, I prevailed. I was able to get done what I needed to get done. And you find a little system for doing these things. Boys, can we stop, please? And likewise, we need a system for doing these word problems. We need to take something that is very infuriating, and we got to find a way to get comfortable with it where it doesn't bother us. Does anybody like tinkering around with car engines? What? A couple of people tinkering with car engines, like taking engines apart, putting them back together, that kind of thing. I am not particularly good at that. It is not a gift. I could do it if I have to, but I got to go slow and I got to go steady, and eventually I'll figure it out. But it's not something that comes easy. Rach?
I don't think car engines, but I have to do my electric scooter, and I help my dad with like the mower engine since like his is like the ride on.
Oh, ride-arounds? Yeah. Nice. And you know what? That probably comes easier for you than it does for me. And if you were teaching me how to do it, you'd need to be patient with me. And you need to show me some techniques that work for you that could make my job easier. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with these word problems. So if word problems come a little easier for me than they do for you, I think if you follow these techniques, it'll help you. It'll help you get better. Yes?
You said you like to do it like slow and steady, but like doesn't slow and steady make like wind race?
A lot of the times it does, but slow and steady doesn't win against the guy who's fast and steady.
But like that's like a saying, doesn't it? It's like a saying.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
That comes from the old fable about the rabbit and the turtle,
So,
the tortoise and the hare.
The race away
Right.
home and everything.
Right, all of that kind of stuff. All right, so let's try working this through. Carmen, this is the moment where we put away the homework and we get working on the do it, and we make sure that we did the do it correctly. Okay, ready? Tommy is not sure how many dollars is in his bank account, or are in his bank account, better grammar there. Oh, I did it again. I don't know, you know what, I just copied it over. It should be he asks the Grand Deacon of Dinero to tell him, and the Grand Deacon says, I will give you a hint. If you triple the number of dollars and then add 45 to it, the result is the same as if you multiplied the number of dollars by 8. Is anybody's head hurt right now?
Yeah. Mine.
I'm with you. If your head hurts, you are normal. If you look at this problem and say to yourself, oh man, this is fun, this is easy, you're weird.
my bad.
Are we perfectly clear about that? You are weird if you look at this and go, oh, happy day, I can't wait to do more of these things. But that does not mean,
I'm weak.
no, you know what, listen, when I was your age, I hated math. But there's something I really love about math. And this is the truth. Sometimes I get emotional when I think of this. What's the most important question that you can possibly ask in your entire life? It's actually a two-part question.
What do I want to do about it?
No, that's important, but it's not the most.
Okay. What do I want to eat for dinner?
No, that can be up there on a moment.
I was before you.
Nah, I'm gonna save you the time, because I don't wanna go too off in this direction. Who am I and why am I here? No, that's something every person asks. Who am I and why am I here? Am I some random chance happening, or is there a destiny for me? Is there a point behind my life, or am I just an accident? All of those different questions are things that you have to ask yourself. And when you start coming to the realization and understanding of where you fit within a universe, and if you look at the universe, there's structure all over the universe. Planets orbit the sun with a particular pattern where you can predict where they'll be and what time they'll be there. The moon orbits the earth. Your DNA inside your body. You know, it's really funny. People like to say that, or some people feel that life is random accident. You ever hear of the chicken and the egg? Which one came first?
Yeah.
All right, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Chicken.
But how did the egg come first if the egg never got here? If the eggs didn't have chickens to put it there?
But the chicken
But-
is born in an egg.
Well, that's right. So I think ultimately, when you ask yourself what came first, the chicken or the egg, the answer is that neither one could have come alone. That there had to be kind of a package deal. And if you say that there have to be some kind of a package, if you say there have to be some kind of package deal, then that implies some kind of design behind the whole thing. Some kind of system behind it where, you don't just pop out a chicken and egg out of nowhere. You just can't do it. And likewise, all life comes down to this stuff called DNA inside of you. And the DNA depends on other things to synthesize it. So just like the chicken depends on the egg to get to the chicken, the DNA depends on the stuff to synthesize the DNA to get the DNA, but where does the stuff to synthesize it come from? It comes from other DNA. So it's just like the chicken and the egg. It's the same exact question. And the answer is that you can't have one without the other. So there's this overwhelming sense of design and this overwhelming sense of purpose. So then the idea is to where do you fit within that? And what I love about mathematics, I don't love word problems, but I love developing my logic and my reasoning skills to the point where I can look at things in the world and maybe have an answer to what came first, the chicken or the egg. I think that's pretty cool because nobody else has that answer. You know what I mean? And then when I hit you with that answer, you're like, whoa, that's mind-bending. Never thought about that. And then the implications. So, in math, boys, we have the ability to do that. So these problems are going to teach us those skills. And one of the things we have to do is get rid of the stuff that doesn't matter. So as I look at this problem, what doesn't matter in this problem? There's some stuff in here that's irrelevant. Tell me one irrelevant thing. Yeah. Okay, great. Oh,
Maybe it's just gonna
All right, so just cross it out. Take your paper right now and draw your line right through it. You don't, there you go. If you did it already, that's really good. Okay? I don't care about the Grand Deacon of dinero. You all know what dinero is, right?
Nope.
Dinero.
It's Spanish for what?
Plátanos,
Money.
plata-
Oh, how's that in Spanish?
plata-
Okay.
plátanos.
Dinero
Plátanos.
es Spanish for dinero.
Plátanos.
Is that the Spanish version of it is what it is? All right.
Plátanos.
Now, next up, I will give you a hint. Done in my best Darth Vader voice. That's what's done.
Are you Chewbacca?
Yes, I am Chewbacca. All right, so if you triple the number of dollars and then add 45. So let's let D stand for dollars. How do I write an expression? Rach, you with me here? How do I write an expression for triple and add 45?
3D
Keep going.
plus 45.
3D plus 45. Nice. And now I'm going to cross that out. Now, as I read through this problem and I keep crossing out stuff, that's less and less that you have to do. I had a student a couple of years ago in the high school. I taught half the day there, half the day here. And it was the year they switched over from Common Core and from integrated algebra to Common Core. And she had said, she took the Common Core Regents, which was earlier in the year, and I asked her how she did, and she goes, "Oh, Mr. Lindquist, I got so beat up on that test. I got destroyed." And I said, "Why?" Because I thought she'd do pretty well. And she said, "Every question was a really big, long paragraph, and I don't read very well. And I really don't like big, long paragraph math questions. I get them wrong all the time." So she said she would look at them and just wouldn't do them. She said, I can't, I don't believe in myself. So then I went through, I was home teaching her, I went through and I showed her this trick, and then she took the integrated algebra Regents, and she did like 40 points better. And I said, "What was the difference?" And she said, "Well, two things." She said, "First off, the problems weren't as long, so I didn't quit on them as easily. And number two, that stuff you showed me about crossing stuff out," she said, "that kept making it shorter and shorter and shorter." So what we've done here is we've taken this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 sentences or lines, and we've made it now down to about 3 lines, which makes the question shorter, which makes it more manageable. Okay, the next part says, the result is the same as. What is that math, or what is that English words for in math? Equals. So I can cross out all of this stuff. So here's what I'm doing. I'm doing little bits of information at a time. I'm doing little pieces of information. I'm not trying to do the whole thing. Next, multiply the number of dollars by 8. Okay, how do I multiply the dollar by 8? How do I write an expression for that? Go ahead.
8x.
Well, we're using D, so 8D. But if you used X, continue to use X. Now I cross that out. So, and I just keep reading, and I look for stuff I can put in the problem. It says, how much money does Tom have in his bank account? Now, this is just telling me what to do. This isn't even anything I have to add to this. So now I have an equation. Is this a same side situation or an opposite side situation? Same side. It's an opposite side. D's are definitely on opposite side. Always start with the smaller number of D's. Die. 45 equals 5D. Divide by 5. D is 9. So he has $9 in his account. Okay? Now, 2 things. First off, if I just gave you this, if I wrote out 3D plus 45 equals 8D, do you think it would be a very hard question?
No.
No, I don't think it's necessarily easy, but I don't think it's very hard either. And then the next thing is, can you learn the skill of reading, crossing out, reading, crossing out? Oh, I need to translate that, let me translate it, and so on. If you can do that, you can do word problems. And we talked about how there's this thing called math block, a very, very real thing, just like there's writer's block. And kids look at this whole enormous math problem, and they don't know where to start. And the truth is, you just got to start with a little snippet, a little piece at a time. Whatever you find in there that you think makes sense, and you build off it. I looked at you, in fact, I put your test in to be photocopied. The next test you're going to take, not the one next week. Maybe it is. Yeah, they're on next week. There's like 5 or 6 of these word problems. Some of them are a lot shorter, like this one. And some of them are a little longer, like this one. But if you're not good at these word problems, you're out like 30 points right off the top. So we want to make sure that when we see these word problems, they don't bother us. Okay, next. One number is 5 more than another number. This is the new stuff for today. This is a very different thing. Can somebody please read that number 2, read that out loud? Jay, go ahead.
One number is 5.
God bless. One number's 5 more than another number. How many numbers are in the problem? 2. One number is 5 more than what? Another number. If it's 5 more than another number, there have to be 2 numbers. So when you read this, and it starts talking about, look, the sum of the what? 2 numbers. Find what? Both numbers. When you see that, that's a game changer. So immediately, I want you on your paper to write first number, second number. Up until now, all the word problems we've done have been problems with only one thing in it, like the number of dollars. Now we're getting into things a little more fancy. One number's 5 more than another number? Okay. Now, whenever you do this, you're always going to let the first number be X or N or whatever. So we'll go with X. Just put X down. It stands for what I don't know. That's what X means. And I don't know what it is. So I'm going to put X there. Now, let's start reading. What does the first sentence say? Ishmael, what do we got here, bud? One number is what? 5 more than another number. So here's my first number. How do I write 5 more than that? Go ahead, how? Come on, you know what more than means. ¿Qué es una operación? No, more than is not multiply. Add. So I'm going to add 5. And then I cross it out. Always take the time to cross it out when you use it. You never need to use things twice. So when you use it once and you cross it out, you're over, you're done with it. This means there's less to try to think about. The next problem, the next line says the sum of the 2 numbers. What does sum mean? Add. So I'm going to add the 2 numbers. What's the first number? You have it right on your paper. What's the first number? X. What's the second number?
X.
No, it's not. The second number's X plus 5. So I take the first one plus the second one. The sum of those 2 numbers, what does it say? Is 25. So what do I write math-wise? Equals 25. Now I've crossed off everything. The only thing left is the directions that say to find both numbers. Is this a same side situation or an opposite side situation? Same side. So X plus X is 2X plus 5 equals 25. Now I just go into my standard 2-step, minus 5 from both sides. 2X is 20. Divide by 2. X is 10. Now, I want you to look back at the directions. What did the directions tell you to do? Rach? Find both numbers. Did I find both numbers yet? No. What did I find? One of them. I found the first one. The first one is 10. What's the second one? 15, because it's 10 plus 5. 15. And then I'm done. Okay? You ever see the movie like Rocky, whatever, 97? You ever see the Rocky movies?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right? Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
right,
dun,
he,
dun.
like, goes, yeah.
There's one where he goes to Russia, and he fights Ivan Drago. And Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed with a punch in the ring. And Ivan Drago's this big steroided out, huge, massive Russian guy. Dolph Lundgren is his name as an actor. So he gets into a fight with Rocky, and he starts punching him. And I just remember Rocky standing up after he gets hit with a few punches, and he looks at him and he goes, "Ain't so bad." He punches him again, and he goes, "Ain't so bad." He punches him again, and he goes, "Ain't so bad." I feel like that with word problems, you know? You look at the word problem the first time, and you're like, "Ain't so bad, I can do that." I don't have to be some kind of wimp and say, "I can't do that, it's so hard." No way! Not a chance. Come on, we're gonna take some swings back here and put Ivan Drago in his place. Go ahead. No, we'll get you after you turn around and do this one. We're gonna go to interesting. Go to number 1. Let's get number 1 done, and then we'll do the quiz. Okay. As you're doing this question, God bless. As you're doing this question, I'm going to ask some people to raise their hands. Anybody here get a grade in the 90s on the last test? Just keep working on the questions. Last test, a grade in the 90s. Or the 80s. Come on, don't joke around. Yeah, the last test. All right? Anybody get a grade they're happy with? There were people in the 70s, I know there were. Okay, all right. Now, here's the relearn package. Okay? If you got one in class, when I walk by, if you got one in Math Plus, I don't want you to take one, okay? All right. You already have one? You have one already, right? Good. If you do not intend to use it, let me know because I don't have enough. This will help you catch up. All right? We'll talk more about it. Anybody here get one from Math Plus today? You did? Chris, did you get one?
No, I'm not close.
You got one already too? Okay, you got one yourself? All right, so there's two here. So Chris, you take one, pass it down to Rich. Anybody here need one? You got yours in Math Plus? You need one there? Elena? Okay. All right. Okay, I need to do this quickly because of the quiz, where we're actually working it backwards today. So let me just do this very quickly. And we're gonna spend like 3 days on these two number problems. One number is not 9 more than another, so I'm gonna say the first number and the second number. The first number is always x. If the next number is 9 more than it, what is it gonna be? X plus 9, good. Cross it out. The sum of the numbers is 19, what does that mean? Add them up and get 19. First one plus second one is 19. Same side situation, 2x plus 9 is 19. Minus the 9, die. 2x is 10, divide by 2, x is 5. All done, right? No. If this guy's 5, what's the other guy? 14. 5 plus 9 is 14. So those are my two answers, okay? Now, the next thing I'd like to do is talk to you about your quiz. So, let's put the first question up on the board. No. First question says, 7 times x minus 2 equals 5x plus 30. When I see the number outside the parentheses, what do I always do right away? Distribute. Very good. Distributing is multiplying. 7x minus 14 equals 5x plus 30. I didn't see anybody forget to make that 14 and leave it a 2, so that looked good. Same side, opposite side. Hey, look, focus. Same side, opposite side. Opposite, so I do minus 5x, start with the smaller number of x's. 2x minus 14 equals 30. Next up, add 14 to both sides. 2x is 44. Divide by 2, what do I get? 22. All right. That's the first question. Next question. 3x plus 4x minus 2 minus 5 equals 3x minus 27. Same side, opposite side. It's kind of both. It starts with same, goes opposite. 3x plus 4x is what? 7x. And then I have a negative 2 and a negative 5 is minus 7. Equals 3x minus 27. Subtract 3x from both sides because now we're to the opposite stage. 4x minus 7 equals danger. Second most deadly type of math problem in the whole world. One little bite from this beauty, you're a what? Goner. That's right. Negative 27. Add 7 to both sides. Die. 4x is negative 20. Divide by 4. X is negative 5. So there is our second one done. Of course, this will be on the website a little bit later tonight, so you can always go home and check it out. Ethan, it's MrLindquistMath.com. That's That's all you gotta do. Very good site. The last one, there were no solutions, because you get to the point where it says like 10 equals 15, that never happened.
Why did I just write
12 to 9, whatever it is, but they're not the same. If they're not the same, it cannot be the solution.